Welcome to episode 48 of Why Not Read Alpha Flight with Tom Flynn.
And Chris Baker, a podcast where we take your favorite series seriously. Today, we are bringing you Alpha Flight Volume 1, issues 74 and 75, sort of a two-issue arc within the Sorcerer story. Mostly here to make a big deal about issue 75, which gets a wraparound cover jammed full of guest appearances, and at the end of 75, we get back to Earth and back to the Sorcerer story proper.
Chris?
Yes, Tom?
We've been through a lot. We've been through a whole lot. 75 issues, in fact. More, because of the prehistory.
Yeah. More like 100, over 100, I believe.
You know, yeah.
Tom, long pauses are not good for the audio
No,
medium.
it's pretty terrible for audio. This was bad, dude. This is really bad. Like, God, I miss Bill. I never thought I would say it quite like that or this soon. But
my apologies to everyone who had good things to say about Bill Mantlow's run before we went into this project. You know what? You're right. You're right.
It had a lot to recommend itself, as it turns out. These issues were not good, man. We're recording this around 9:45 a.m. on a Thursday morning, and it occurred to me about an hour and a half ago, I didn't need to read these issues. Like, it felt so throwaway. Like, if this was part of my monthly poll at the time, I would have read it and just discarded it. Like, there's nothing about these issues that is especially remarkable, especially interesting, especially well done. I mean, there's some
there are things.
There's some decent
It's
art,
just they
actually.
don't matter at the end.
Right. No, I mean, it just sort of was there and you move on. It wasn't even like it was there. It just doesn't
Okay, hold on.
matter.
Tom collapses into an incandescent rage.
I
have a whole script here, man.
I mean, well, this is the thing. Like, you have this whole script and I just don't.
But why bother?
I don't see. This is not a why not situation. This is a why. Why are we doing this?
Okay, you know what? Okay, so the reason that Tom is incoherently angry is that at the end of issue number 75,
None of it mattered.
It's supposed to be this big reveal, and we all go, oh, but there's some fun in how that gets revealed. It's just that by the end, none of it. Now I'm collapsing into Hold on. We have to have some more structure here,
We
Tom.
need some
Here
structure.
We go.
I don't disagree. Some structure.
All right. We're going to go with the story so far. Canada's premier superhero team is led, as always, by the totally human Heather Hudson, a.k.a. Vindicator, when she's using her electromagnetic controlling supersuit made from a dead sex bot. She is currently engaged to the technopathic mutant Mr. Madison Jeffries. You see? These people just don't get what I'm sorry. I have to rein it in. Mr. Madison Jeffries, a.k.a. Box, when he's phased into his fancy armor suit. His ex-girlfriend, ex-something, air quotes, Diamond, Lil Crawley, recently showed up at his apartment and tagged along on this adventure in a very ugly and clearly written story to break up Heather and Madison. Boo.
I just gotta say, the way you put air quotes around Diamond makes her sound a little bit like a stripper.
It always has, Tom.
It's weird. It's weird.
Yeah. You know what would have been hilarious if they had taken the Mary Jane route with Diamond Lil and like just had people refer to Diamond Lil in the background of Alpha Flight for like 60 issues.
That'd be pretty good. Anyway, she's indestructible, hence the name Diamond Lil. Elizabeth Two Young Men, aka Talisman, has also waltzed back onto the team and started cryptically bossing everyone around, including picking up her father, Dr. Michael fucking Two Young Men, aka Shaman, from the butthole of the world and getting him back into that good old-fashioned superhero lifestyle. Oh, and Sasquatch is there. It's Alpha Flight. Sasquatch is always there. But now Sasquatch is once again secret agent linebacker superhero Dr. Walter Langowski, and Wanda Lankowski is no more. Alas, I mean, it's funny. I'm so mad about these issues that like I can't even get mad about Walt being back.
Frankly, Sasquatch is some of the high points of this.
Oh, except, and we're going to get to it, except... I'm just going to do it now. I'm sorry. This is going to happen a lot, listeners, this episode, where we're just going to like things are going to like intrude into the script unplanned. Everyone calls him Walter in these 2 issues.
Yeah, nobody calls him Sasquatch.
No one calls him Walt. He's always called Walter.
He's Cher Walter again.
She was the only one that called him Walter. Everyone else called him Walt or Sasquatch. When Puck shows back up, because Puck is back, Heather calls him
Spoiler.
Judd. Heather calls him Judd, not Eugene, not Puck. She calls him Judd. Who's writing? Like, have you read any of these comics before? What is happening? I mean, this is, and when Shaman actually speaks, and he speaks like twice, he doesn't sound like himself. It's
okay. Bottle it up, friends.
Shaman uses contractions. He doesn't ever use contractions. He's a doctor, goddammit. Like, he doesn't sound like any of this. I am incandescently angry about this right now, guys. I'm oh my God.
Sorry.
Talisman has cryptically explained that Alpha Flight has faced so many magical problems lately because of some 10,000 year cycle where the forces of evil get the upper hand. Talisman herself kicked off the festivities by attacking the bad guy known as the Sorcerer first and allowing him to act with impunity upon Earth. He trapped the team in a series of wastelands. They've been dimensional portal jumping, trying to find a way
through
home.
the crossroads that Walt has been to. Damn it, Hudnall. Sorry.
But at each portal, the Sorcerer had laid a trap for them, knowing they would come that way. You know, that whole paragraph, like, does way more justice than any of those issues deserved. I gotta tell you. Like, well done. That was good.
Thank you. I think I'm composed again. On the last dimensional jump. Sorry.
On the last dimensional jump.
No, it's my turn. Here I go. On the last dimensional jump, the team emerged into what appeared to be New York City, but a conveniently located stray newspaper reported that President Reed Richards had disbanded the Senate and Congress. And Tom, of all the things to pick about in this issue.
Good. I'm glad you pointed this out, because this set me off when we read it last. I didn't bring it up last episode, but it set me off too. Go for it.
Yeah. So, not to be picky, but it should say the Senate and the House, which together make up what is called Congress.
They're putting out pleas for more information about Canada, and they don't even know how our government is set up.
All right. Settle.
The next line in the script says, things seem to have gone awfully weird since our team left Earth a few hours or something
Well, that's
ago.
when I was trying to write a normal episode for an abnormal couple of issues.
This script is really not going to do too much for us, but
it's going to be great. Alpha Flight number 74, titled Dark Reflections, cover date September 1989. Now, here's a sign of good things to come, Tom. There are no credits published in this issue itself.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't want my name attached to it either.
Comic Vine tells me it's our familiar crew of James Hudnall writing, John Calimee penciling, Mike Manley on inks, Bob Sharen on colors, Janice Chiang lettering, and editorial by Marc, McLaurin, Carl Potts, and Tom DeFalco.
On the cover, newcomer to the team, Diamond Lil, is choking out Spider-Man while Vindicator, Box, and the most implausibly clawed Wolverine I have ever seen rush at her.
I have seen a lot of silly Wolverine claws, but these take the cake.
They have to be 3 feet long, if not longer. The guy is swinging 3 yardsticks of sliced death from each fist, and the next line is blacked out because Chris wants to spring something on me. Let's see what it is.
It's still better than Ted Cruz's flaccid penises that emerge.
I might hang up. Like, this might be it. This might be all the audio y'all get this week.
Have we ever explained that on the show?
No, we have not.
Oh, hey, folks, if you've ever seen that meme of someone saying that Ted Cruz looks like Wolverine, but 3 flaccid penises, but then the text conversation underneath where it says, imagine what that sounds like, and it's like shaking a half-full jar of mayo. That's an actual screenshot of Tom and I's text exchange.
Yeah, and guess which one made that suggestion, and guess which one says this is the worst thing you've ever done. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a little bit of an insight into our relationship, I think.
Anyway, that's our minor meme famousness, celebrity. Anyway, this Wolverine, he's got this enormously exaggerated Batman mask thing going on, and even the wings on his boots. Look, listeners, you have to see this. The boot tips go up almost to his hip and stick out no less than 1 foot on each side of his thighs.
I mean, I don't think you have to see this. I think if you skip reading any encounter with these issues, I think you'll probably be fine.
Oh, that's a horrible thing to say about an issue number 75. You know how Alpha Flight loves to celebrate things.
Right now we're on issue 74. So there's that.
Moving on.
The text on the cover says, Diamond Lil, the woman who killed Spider-Man. And yeah, she's killing him, all right. Hudnall and violence, and a certain kind of violence seems to be a thing.
Hands around throat is specifically what Calimee has put onto this one, and then that other one that we called a kink.com still.
I think, once again, certain proclivities are finding their way into the comic. Look, he's the one that brought back Diamond Lil, and he's the one that has her choking out to death Spider-Man. I'm simply saying, like, you know,
it is always a woman's hand around the throat. That
it
is a good point,
absolutely is. I mean, hey, you know, feminism.
It's been a while, so let's describe Diamond Lil for those who haven't seen her. She is a very tall white woman with very long brown hair. Her costume is a yellow and green Harlequin pattern, and if you don't know what that means, that's the diamond clown pattern, kind of like what Harley Quinn wears, but it's like across her whole thing. She looks like a clown. It's weird. Including a similar coloring and cut on her domino mask, which, if you don't know what that is the kind of 2 quadrangles as a mask glued over your eyes, like what Robin wore. That's a domino mask.
2 points. 2 points. You're describing a Harlequin pattern and a domino mask to people listening to the Alpha Flight podcast. Second, you're using other comic book characters as references for what those look like.
Yeah.
So I'm just. Yeah.
No, that's how I learned.
Yeah, fair enough.
Look. For it's like the XKCD comic taught us. For everything that you think that everyone knows, someone new is learning that every day, and he ran the math, and it's like 10,000 people learn something that everybody knows that day. So who knows who among our listeners is among today's 10,000th person to learn what a domino mask is. So there, listeners, you learned 2 sartorial things today. 3 if you looked up sartorial.
Her whole deal is that she is indestructible. Indestructible, like Mr. Burns. What that means isn't really explored yet, but we have seen she can pluck a hair and use it to theoretically decapitate a person because even her hair is indestructible, hence its length.
Hope you like her. She's with us for quite some time. And actually, I come to like Lil. Don't judge her based on this. Actually, maybe do.
I don't dislike her at all. And like, funny, because I don't have any frame of reference for her, she sounds great.
She sounds perfect. Well, the book opens, and it is no bait and switch. No siree. Diamond Lil dragging Spider-Man's totally dead body through a filthy alley, tosses him in a dumpster with a lot of dramatic internal monologue about how she totally and really killed him, and the others are going to kill her now. Wow. This is a book for kids, Tom.
Yeah. So the rest of this issue is, again, told in flashback, because Hudnall.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. The balloon just lost the air. Like, I tried to make this palatable here, but actually the end of this bit of the script ends in me saying, in the words of the horse from Ren and Stimpy, no, sir, I don't like it.
Yeah. The whole flashback thing that he does is not great. I don't think it works particularly well as a framing device. It certainly does not work the way that he thinks it's working. And also the frequency with which he uses it really makes the more linearly told stories even more jarring in their own way. Like, there's just a lot that's not working here from a writing standpoint. And I made the point last episode, and just referencing that I had remarked upon how wordy Byrne could be, how some of the books felt like books in some ways, with the amount of narration taking place and speech bubbles, all that. But the difference was that with Byrne would sometimes start an issue that way, and it set things up, and then you're moving through the issue. This feels closer to like, in a way, I think Hudnall would have been better served if this was like a Japanese light novel where it's mostly text with some drawings to help move things along, to break it up or whatnot.
13-year-old me would have loved that. Well, okay, so the whole premise of the story is on Alpha Flight and us, the listener, thinking that we are on Earth in like 6 years in the future, which I don't know where they got that from because that paper did not have a date. But like the rug gets pulled out from under us at the end of issue 75, and not like a funny cartoon rug or like a planned pratfall for laughs. It gets pulled out in a way that results in a concussion and a broken tailbone. It's like if Jason Statham pulled the rug on you, you know?
I guess I would disagree somewhat with that particular metaphor because
you like Jason Statham more than me?
No. I meant more the rug pulling element of it because I never bought it at any point. Like there was never a moment where it felt earned. And I guess my issue is my specific issue with that element of the story, that this is not actually Earth. That's not where they really are. And we will get into all where they're hanging out right now. It is set up very early on. There's something funky going on. And then there's that, weird explanation that some dimensions time moves differently. So it could be 6 years later. Again, there's no point of reference for why they think it's 6 years later, but here we are. But clearly Hudnall is trying to create a sense that something is weird, but it doesn't come across.
It doesn't have that sense of dread that we
there's no
in other ones.
Dread. There is no sense that, what's going to happen next, or that there's any danger here, or that like this is at all. It is so unbelievable that it makes the characters look foolish for believing any element of it, for going along with any part of it. So like when Mantlo turns Box into a fucking spaceship after basically a nuclear explosion, there is a sense that maybe something really bad is about to happen to Madison. All these things actually, you can probably hear my dog howling in the background, which is appropriate for this moment.
He's applauding Mantlo because Mantlo shenanigans are cheeky and fun.
He is mourning Bill. He's mourning Bill's run.
Okay. So listeners, everything that happens in issue 74, like the whole plot of us interacting with what we think is New York City and all of these superheroes that then guest star on the cover of 75, none of that is happening in New York City. None of the story that they're told matters. There's no reason for us to tell you this because we come to find out at the end of issue 75 that we're in the Dream Queen's dimension all along. And the sorcerer, who now has a name, just created the whole thing as a trap in order to make sure that they stayed off Earth. Now, is that the twist that would have made us incandescently angry? Absolutely not. No. We haven't even gotten into Elvis or when Santa Claus machine guns Cyclops. Guys, these issues are bonkers.
They feel like Hudnall's given limited access to some of the A-list characters from other books, but was told that none of it could be lasting, none of it could be meaningful.
None of it could matter, yeah.
And so he
said, stories that don't matter? I got you, boss.
The reason why all the superheroes are attacking Alpha Flight is because they don't know in this reality they're not part of Alpha Flight. Guardian is the Prime Minister of Canada and married to Aurora. We never see them, by the way, which is also like unforgivable.
Bullshit.
I mean,
absolutely.
If you're gonna do that, if you're gonna say that, cut to a fucking TV and show me Mac holding Aurora, looking like he's living his best goddamn life.
Okay, I'm sorry. Well, my whole rant is that, like, Hudnall does not understand. They referenced Mac. They had the opportunity to show Mac in an Alpha Flight book. You have to show Mac. He had the chance to Bernie lean, and he did not Bernie lean. That is the least Alpha Flight way you can write an Alpha Flight book. And I think it's the thing that left, like, the stupidest taste in my mouth. Such an easy way to rack points, Hudnall. Come on, you bum. God.
So anyway, they are not registered as being part of Alpha Flight. And in this world, the Dr. Doom and the supervillains all teamed up and took over the Soviet Union. And now there's like an Eastern Bloc. So now it's United Superhero State of America, and they're fascists. And, given the world we live in right now, you'd think that this issue would be somewhat interesting in that regard. I've given you a lot
of free reign today, Tom, but I need you to stop. Not because I fear anything, except our sanity. All right?
I did not regret, really, reading the Mantlo issues. We had problems with them, whatever. I don't...
Okay, the thing that soured us on this was not, it was the Dream Queen's dimension. We can think our way through all these problems and just make them all go away, which is the absolute most bullshit cop-out answer ever. But they get home because somehow they all think about home real hard, and Talisman focuses those thoughts and creates a portal home from the place that even the sorcerer believes to be unable to get out, and they just walk their way home, which they could have done from the beginning. That's the point at which the skull is cracking against the floor and you realize this isn't a fun gag. This is fucking stupid. The power of friendship got them home, guys. Guys, I cannot emphasize how terrible the experience of reading these two issues was. Spider-Man tried to rape Diamond Lil. What is happening, Tom?
Literally, like that's part of her narration of all the terrible things that he's going to do to her. Like he's talking about it as he's beating her up.
Yes, it was terrible.
And then she like hits him once, and he hits a wall and breaks his neck. Like there's so many things about this that are just frustrating.
The horrific image of when Lil punches Colossus in the face and his face collapses, which she absolutely cannot do. But the whole point is, we got a horror book on our hand again, and that's why the Wolverine looked so weird. And, I guess there was a bit of foreshadowing with that. So, good job. There, we found something nice to say about it, Tom. All right, cut to credits. Let's go.
I actually do want to praise a couple moments of Calimee's art. He draws Puck well. I'll give him that, like the giant Judd version of Puck.
Well, the young giant Judd version, because apparently you can manipulate the matter of your own
so
body.
when they go back into the real world, is Puck going to suddenly age really quickly because he's no longer under the effects of the Dream Queen's realm? So I'm sure that's gonna, that
I
will
believe Shaman's injuries persist for another issue or so. So he's not fully healed. Why didn't they just hang out there till he had fully healed? If you can perpetuate.
I will also say that the scene where Puck comes across this fake New York City is actually really well done. It's actually it's a very pretty panel of art. Calimee does a very strong job, I'm finding, with architecture. He has a really good sense of that, and it comes to life in a way that some of the other pencilers in the past haven't quite. They were more interested in other things. But that is certainly his strong suit. Putting them in New York City actually worked much better than some of the other settings that Calimee has had to draw. There, I was nice.
So, okay, all right, Let's be sure to get these credits out of the way before our next round of incandescent rage, because I already see where mine is coming from. Alpha Flight number 75, titled Tigers in the Rain, which I don't get, do you?
No, and guess what? I didn't care enough to look into it.
Cover date, October 1989. Same credits as before, but Marc McLaurin is Mighty Fine associate editor. Carl Potts is credited as Just Married. Oh, that's kind of cool. And Tom DeFalco is editor-in-chief. No, really. That's what's printed there. The joke is that there isn't a joke, I guess.
So I just looked it up. Tigers in the Rain is an album by singer-songwriter Michael Franks, released in 1979.
Is Michael Franks Canadian?
Let's find out. American! So we don't even got that going for us.
Okay.
He
Nope.
he wrote a lot of songs that other people have covered.
I know you would much rather talk about this, but we got to do this,
I'm just going to
buddy.
say that A. Colin Flood, this is from the Wikipedia, wrote in Enjoy the Music magazine that the album, quote, continues to express Frank's original synthesis of smooth jazz rock fusion, again with the understated South American underbeats. You know...
Now I want to listen to it. You're not wrong.
But setting that aside, the smooth jazz rock fusion, of course, that's what Hudnall will be referencing. And you know what? If he's not referencing that, I don't care.
On the cover, we have everybody. I mean, everybody. Spider-Man, Iron Man, Box, Wolverine, Vindicator, Talisman, Sasquatch, and that's just the right-hand page. On the wraparound, we see Wonder Man, Human Torch, Captain America, Reed Richards, Diamond Lil, and Hulk.
Yeah, I'm on the second page of the search results, and there's nothing else that pops up when you type in Tigers in the Rain. It's definitely
As you can imagine, they are all fighting. Text at the bottom says, All Out War, the Marvel Universe. And boy, sounds to me like editorial told Hudnall to get Alpha Flight integrated stat. And,
page 3 of the search results tell me that the Detroit Tigers and the Red Sox had a rain weather delay yesterday.
Okay, so listeners, you may recall that Alpha Flight began with like individual stories that led up to them coming together in issue number 12, and then the cycle repeated for issues 24. And that part of the flavor of Alpha Flight was that it wasn't the team living together and arguing about who's eating each other's peanut butter and that type of stuff in Avengers Mansion. It had a different rhythm and flow. And they make this enormous deal out of issue number 75, which...
Not a factor of 12.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it just... And then, and here's where it is, Tom. This is where I am carefully bottling up my incandescent rage. If they're making a big old deal about Alpha Flight issue number 75, why are we in New York City?
Because they don't know how to write Canada.
Or draw it.
Or any of it.
Yeah. Like...
New York City?
You know, I knew that was going to come up. I almost pre-downloaded the audio clip just to make sure it was available for you.
Oh, one other note on the cover. The inset, where it shows the heads of the various characters. Yeah, the inset on this one make Box and Shaman look the exact same color. So Box's red helmet and Shaman's face are the same color. They made Michael Two Young Men a red face. Are you fucking kidding me? Yeah.
And like, so is it Puck that gives the sorcerer his name, Lon the sorcerer?
No! Diamond Lil says his name. He's never had a name up to this point, and if anyone's going to give him a name, it's not Lil. What is going on?
Now, Tom, do you know how the sorcerer came to be named Lon?
I don't want to know. I'm guessing if it doesn't have anything to do with Welsh because of the double L, I'm going to lose my shit.
Oh, I was so hoping that would be the case when I did my first read through. I was like, that is weird. I don't know if it's Jan or Lon. I'm going to double back and make sure that we do a little bit more research in that, because I was hoping, because my wife is learning Gaelic right now. And anyway, so Tom, he's named Lon because Hudnall didn't have a name for him when the story started. And Lon is the last 4 letters of Hudnall's last name spelled backwards. If you're
fucking
done! If your computer wasn't on it, you would have literally flipped your desk.
Why are we doing this?
Oh, and remember,
look, I want to make listeners. We very much love and appreciate you all. We appreciate the time you take to listen to us. We get a kick and really like doing this podcast together and reading these books. I think at this point, you understand how much has to have taken place for us to be like this in an episode. We really need just to get this out because my God, is this poorly written. The last 4 letters of his name backwards.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow, man. Wow.
You're Macho Man Randy Savage gazing off into the distance on the dock.
Wow. That actually might have broken me. Well, shit.
All I've got left is to say, so the whole thing was built around imagination. So, of course, at some point in time, Puck imaginates imaginates something that Hudnall may have written. No, imagine is actually in the, imaginate is to, like, create.
Oh, fair, I guess.
I made up the word and I made up the defense on the fly, but I stand by it.
It's strong enough. I'm going to point out that when they at some point, I forget who, and I'm not going to go back and look, describes Madison phasing out of the box armor. They spell phase with a Z.
I didn't even catch that, but yeah, no.
I'm not even sure why Carl Potts or Tom DeFalco are even putting their names on here, or Marc McLaurin, because there's no editorial oversight happening at this point. Like, it's just, it is something that's being put out into the world.
Carl was busy getting married.
Good for Carl. God damn it.
The thing getting on top of Box for some ground and pound, that was a legitimately menacing moment because I was like, oh yeah, Madison, you don't use your armor for the things you should be using it for and all sorts of crazy ass Iron Man offensive and defensive weaponry. No, you use it like the Thing uses his body to pound stuff. And that is not going to work against the Thing who threatened to pound him into tinfoil, and I was like, Ben Grimm means it.
The Thing ripped him apart, and
literally, and then he Iron Gianted himself back together.
Right, but every other time that something close to that has happened to the armor, to whoever's inside the armor, they're in excruciating pain. So this issue 75 spends more time on the guest stars, on these Phantom Avengers than it does with Alpha Flight. I mean,
and them being evil and not even being the characters that they look like.
There is so little dialogue comparatively. I'm
fairly certain that this version of Wolverine threatened to skullfuck Diamond Lil.
I mean, I'd believe it at this point. I think I blacked out while I was reading it. Like, it was Christ. Yeah, it was. It's how many more Hudnalls do we got?
We are just about halfway through. Next episode, we will reach the tipping point of being halfway through Hudnall. Yes, I looked it up as well, Tom, because I was hoping to be able to say, but alas, we are not. Oh, and we haven't even gotten to what I texted you was my breaking point when I did my speed read through. You remember what I told you? This is it. This is the worst issue of Alpha Flight that I have read. And I told you the reason why. And spoiler alert, listeners, Shaman smiles. That's how far we have to fall, Tom.
Great.
Yeah.
This comes up about every 4 episodes where we refer back to our tagline about taking your favorite series seriously and how that means that we can't always be sunshine and rainbows and just, glaze everything. And I don't think we're actually going overboard with how much we dislike these issues. It is partially informed by the issues that came before it and how it wasn't really hitting the right tone. The 2 issues that preceded it, again, felt very much like it was Alpha Flight skins, not actually the team itself. This only reinforces it, and it is mind-bending how poorly these issues represent the Alpha Flight team. In a way, I don't care how Mantlo broke and altered it at this point, because at least it was recognizably a form of Alpha Flight. This isn't. It just simply isn't Alpha Flight, other than someone is somewhat competently drawing them to look like Alpha Flight. That's it. And that sucks, man. That is an unpleasant experience for reading a book that you've been reading for literally 2 years in our time frame, 75 issues plus, to have it be at this point is just, damn. That's rough, man. It's rough.
It's a classic example of a swing and a miss. So look, if the Dream Queen's world was real, like where you could imaginate things into being and whatnot, someone would be developing that into Westworld, because that's essentially what Westworld is, except they explain the technological backing of it. Given what we've seen of this is one of the darker barrels I've looked down. Thank you, James Hudnall. You have truly brought horror to my life.
Oh, also, Talisman mentions that the Dream Queen's not in her dimension because she's been sent somewhere far away, which was never in any way, shape, or form made clear when they got rid of her previously. So
now, I gotta tell you, by the time I dragged myself to the end of that issue, I didn't really care what dimension they sent her through. They just punched her through. But yeah, Puck is young and healthy again and tall, and everything's fine. He still has his thing for Heather. Oh, good Lord. The list of things that they take wrong.
Why Not is brought to you by listeners like you who subscribe to our Patreon and the Excelsior Embroidery Company, this week featuring a lovely script patch that reads, "Biggest Slut at the Public Library." See this and hundreds more designs at excelsiorembroidery.etsy.com, where listeners of Why Not can use the coupon code WN503 to get 50% off any 3 items in the store. I especially like that because my wife still has the I Heart Library shirt I made for her before we started dating.
Why Not Read Alpha Flight with Chris and Tom is recorded in Chicago, Illinois, and deep beneath stately Baker Manor in a fashionable neighborhood outside St. Louis. It is written, edited, and produced by Chris Baker and Tom Flynn, with additional cat noises courtesy of Teeny the Chonky Calico, and occasionally featuring Tom's age-appropriate daughter, though not this episode. Our theme song is "O Canada" by Five Iron Frenzy. New episodes are released every second and fourth Monday of the month at www.thewhynotpod.com and wherever you get your podcasts, where ratings and reviews are always welcome as a way to help our community grow.
And we love hearing from our community. You can reach us on Blue Sky, Instagram, and by email at whynotehpod@gmail.com. That's whynotepod@gmail.com.
All right, see you next time, folks. We'll see what fresh hell is in for us then. Bye.
Bye.